It says like 1800. It doesn't match what you were just saying. You gotta change the order. And then
Yes.
we knew that. It's generic.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, it's here.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Make it like that.
I have no go. This is too much paper.
Oh, where's my thing? We're good. Good evening, everyone. This is the Municipal Council combined meeting of April 22nd, beginning at 6 p.m. Could we all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Brescher.
Here.
Councilmember Coyle.
Here.
Councilmember Dima.
Here.
Councilmember Kentos.
Here.
Councilmember Patel.
Here.
Councilmember Patil. Councilmember Shmuel.
Here.
Madam Clerk, adequate notice?
Adequate notice of this meeting as required by the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975 has been provided by the annual notice sent to the Home News Tribune, Star Ledger, and Desi Talk on November 17, 2025, and posted in the lobby municipal complex on that same date.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Just brief remarks. Good evening, everyone. For those who are attending for the first time, welcome. You may follow along on the agenda provided to you at the back table. You will have 4 minutes to speak at the public comments and 4 minutes on the resolutions and oral petition remarks at this portion of the agenda. If you're watching for the first time from home, please visit edisonnj.gov, click on Departments, then Council, and select Council Agenda. And so you can follow along with this meeting. If you have any further questions or comments, you may email any council member or myself personally at jcoyle@edisonnj.gov. Thank you for joining us. Just a quick announcement, our meeting in May are both combined, Wednesday, May 6th and May 20th. We'll continue to the agenda on 5, the administrative agenda. Letter A, any comments? Hearing none from council members, moving to number 6, review of the minutes of combined meeting of April 7th. Any comments? And the closed session of the meeting of April 7th. Any comments? Going through departments in order. From the business administrator, we have line item A, line item B, and line item C. Any questions or comments from council members? Moving along to number 8 from the Department of Finance. Letter A, letter B, letter C, letter D, E, F, and G. Any questions or comments from council members?
Council President,
Yes, Councilman.
to the business administrator, the Tourist Advisory Group, is this to help us because potentially our electric bill has went up like it has for all of our residents?
This is for our own electric, for the township.
Right, for us to find a way to kind of reduce costs with electric? Is that what their goal is for us?
Yes.
Will they also look at things, different places for us to maybe purchase energy?
Yes, so that's what we'll do. We'll go to a third party for cheaper energy.
There was, I'm going to say an ordinance, maybe it was a resolution that we passed a few years ago where we were going to try and buy electric, like green energy, but we were supposed to try and buy, buy it as a group, let's say, by the township. Does it help if we did something like township-wise as far as like purchasing?
So in the past, I've done those are energy aggregation, and essentially you create a co-op. Sometimes the issues with that is that you're not getting anything cheaper. However, independently, this group would go out and find it anywhere else. So you could do it, but it doesn't mean that you're going to get it cheaper. You may get it cleaner, but you may just come out with the same price, sometimes a little bit higher. So in recent years, you've actually seen it go just as high as regular energy that you'd buy from PSC&G as opposed to the energy aggregation cooperative.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's see how it comes out. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Council.
Yes.
Sonia, real quick, if we get electric power from somewhere else, would that cover the street lights as well? Because that's like the big ticket item there. So if we buy electric from somebody else, does it include the street lights?
It includes all of our lighting.
All of our lighting. Okay, thank you.
Does not include our public buildings. That's a separate area in which we would look for energy savings and efficiency, which we are currently also looking at through the PSC&G program.
Thank you.
Just to correct you, the council members here, your questions go through the council president to the BA. We make the residents do the same, so we have to have the same expectations. Okay, moving along from the Department of Health, letter A. Hearing none from the Department of Planning and Engineering, letter A, letter B, letter C, letter D, E, F, G, and H. Any question or comment from council members? Hearing none, moving on to, from the Department of Public Works, letter A, letter B, letter C, and D. I do want to share with you the purchase for hydraulics. I had a conversation with our DPW director on that as well. And if you read in the backup, you'll see that it's more than just parts. It's a combination of a co-op, an agreement, and also vehicle repairs as well. But if you have any questions on that, you're welcome to. Any questions or comments? A, B, C, D.
Council President?
Yes.
This here is kind of like our other ones. Like if we approve $950,000, but they only use $400,000,
Right. This is not to exceed.
right? It's
So
just,
this covers us for a lot more than what we've typically done in the past.
but then this would have to be incorporated into the budget, right? So
What we include in the budget is what we've spent and what we anticipate. Having gone through the budget exercise, and hopefully to introduce to the council at the next meeting, DPW's operating budget has not increased totally. I think maybe about 1% or so overall. So this number reflects what we've requested and allocated for the 2026 budget based on what we spent in 25.
in 25.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Councilman, I couldn't get a line item for spending for 2025, but I did ask, this is something new the director is doing with other directors across the county, and he believes they're gaining 15% by this co-op. So I think we'll have a better service provided and better discounts. Any other questions or comments from 11? So moving on to 12 in the Department of Recreation, letter A. Hearing none on 13, the Department of Water and Sewer. Any questions or comments?
Council President?
Yes. Imagine that, a question.
Yes.
I came prepared today, Rich, so.
Well, I'm going to say, I see Lero in, let's say, A, right? So they already did an analysis on A, right? So we already know what's leaking and what has to be repaired, right? Or phase one, I should say.
Before you continue, we'll just bring someone up from, wouldn't bring the, Sonia, engineer or a department head?
We have all three, but if Councilman Brescher could finish his question, I'd
Okay,
like to
all
just
right,
get
fine.
the full scope of what you're asking.
Good enough.
Okay. So I'm looking at this point, what are they going to do, Lero Engineering? So they came through, they said that we have a crack in a pipe. They recommend the pipe has to be changed, right? Is Lero going to dig a hole, crawl in a hole, and put the pipe in? Or what is Lero doing for us? That would be the question for that one there. And then we have this B. And what is be about? Because this has phase 3, 4, and 5, but I thought we approved a resolution for the rest of the system to be inspected. I thought we did that, I don't know, a couple months ago.
So I'll have someone come up, but just in terms of the phase 1, this is for the construction plans, the specifications. They also do all of the advertising, the bid supporting, and grant application process that's required. This is all under the ACO.
Okay, but I guess, so here's my question. We paid someone to look at a pipe, right, that tell us that the pipe is cracked or the pipe is broken or that the pipe would need to be lined, right? So they did that. And we paid, I don't know, we paid quite a nice sum of money for them just to look at a pipe. Now we actually need to have them design and tell me that the 8-inch pipe that's cracked and is leaking needs to be replaced with an 8-inch pipe, or that the 8-inch pipe that's cracked needs to be lined because our sewer department, with the data, our sewer department can't figure that out? That we need an engineer to do that?
It's a little more in depth, but I'd like to bring the department up if that's okay.
On the microphone.
Okay, it's on. All right, good evening.
Could you, Director, could you bring it up? Yeah, so
Gotcha.
you don't have to struggle.
Good.
You're awfully tall, so you may want to.
All right. So with A, under LIRO for the phase 1, this is for the design of the repairs, to oversee the repairs, to get the documents together, to go out to bid for the repair company. So it's everything that they found in phase 1. They're going to be overseeing now all of those repairs.
So okay, I guess where the question goes was I thought that we were going to do the repairs. But what I'm gathering is we have a sewer department, right? And maybe could we get a list of what the sewer department does? Because with sewer and water, my recollection was we were going to do the repairs, right? Otherwise, we just might as well have sold the whole caboodle to Suez or someone else. Like if we're not going to actually do it, and all we're going to do is do, let's say, clogs or things of that nature, right? But I thought the whole purpose of us building a sewer department and a water department was for us to increase that. Now, I understand that would be additional manpower, right? Because I assume everybody there is doing something now during the day. But now I'm kind of like being told like we're just so we're subcontracting out. Like if we had sewer guys, our sewer guy would look at that report and say, hey, the 8-inch line is broken. I need 4 lengths of 8-inch pipe, and here's my material list. And they would come out there and do it. So we wouldn't even have to pay $582,000 to have an engineer design a spec for us to go out to bid, to pay even more money to someone else. And they're union rate too, so it's not like we're saving money. Is this the direction that the sewer and water is going, that we're just going to outsource everything?
No. So we are looking to do more in-house repairs. We got more employees. We're going out.
Excuse me, can you just figure out how to speak closer to the microphone for us? Yeah, you could, okay.
Okay, that's better. All right. So yes, we have increased the personnel within the department. We are doing a lot of our own repairs, but with the ACO and the funding through the iBank, it all has to go through contractors. We can't get involved with those repairs. It all has to go through contractors. That's one of the things through the infrastructure bank. Are we doing our own repairs sewer-wise on stuff that we find? Yes, the guys go in, they maintain the stations, they're clearing all of the easements. They've done a fantastic job getting a lot of the requirements of the ACO that has not gone through the iBank compliant. We're getting the reports out to the state. Same thing on the water side. Probably did 97% of our own repairs this year. The only repairs that we have not done is state highway work, only because of DOT requirements. But we're starting to do this summer, water department, we're going to be doing some of our own in-house main installs this year. And as we get more into that, we're going to start doing more residential streets. So now that we have the manpower, the whole point is to start doing more in-house work as we go. The guys got to learn how to do it. We're training them. A lot of the guys are new. Some of them are there less than a year. So it'll be a good learning experience over this summer, because now we're out of repair mode. And now we're going to go into other repairs that we have noticed and installations.
So just wanted to put into perspective, and sorry, I didn't mean to cut Roger off, but we're talking about 21 pump stations and about 300 miles of gravity sewers. So we do need LERO to provide and collect all of the information. So if you look at the backup, all of which it rates exactly the condition and what needs to be done. And yes, part of it can be done through here, probably through relining some of the piping. But if you look at it, I mean, you're looking at 1-inch pipes, you're looking at 8-inch pipes, 7, 4. They're all across the board. So we need them to provide us with all of the teething that's required that we need to put into the GIS system. So the guys, quite frankly, guys and gals, could, of course, go in there and get the work done. So it's an in-depth, I mean, we're covering that many miles of sewer gravity. So it is a little more time consuming. I just want to, there's an amount of time that they're going to have to get this done. So if we could just cover that at least, what the timeline looks like.
The timeline for our ACO is actually, we have 9 years from when it started, which was 2023. So we have until 2032. I would like to add also for the phase 1 of gravity, when they gave us the report, they had over 360 manholes that had to be completed, and also around 800 segment areas that had to be completed. So all this has to be completed all in this one phase. And then when they gave us the report, they separated all the repairs and all the issues they found through different level severities. So all this will complete 4 and 5 level severity, and then anything under that, we are actually planning to repair and keep monitoring in-house.
Well, let's say I'm stymied here. So we know the pump stations, right? We've been approving pump stations for, 6 years, 7 years. But my question really is the gravity feed here, right? Because I don't know how many pump stations I approved. Maybe you can get that.
There's a total of 9 under the ACO.
Okay, there's 9. But this council, since I've been on it, probably has approved design work for probably 6. Now, you might have another 9, right? And I'm not going to dispute that with you. But we've been tackling that, so I get that. But the gravity feed, right? To me, that was a really simple thing that we didn't need an engineer to tell us exactly what we really need to do. I would think someone that was experienced in sewers, right, would be able to determine whether we can line them or they have to be replaced. And while we wait for the engineer, right, because it seems to take 6 or 8 months for them to come up with any kind of design criteria or anything, and it's nothing against LERO, right? I'm saying it was CME, T&M, right? Seems to take them almost a year to do it. During that year, if our director had a crew of people, he could probably take care of 20% of it before they even get those drawings out of a box. So that's my question. I just don't see the need to go down this route. I think it's like we're shooting ourselves in the foot, and we should either be committed to a sewer and water department, right, that are going to fix these things, or we're committed to then let's sell it, okay? And Len Sandelsky, who was a councilman, I would say he's 100% correct that he's right, we should have sold it, because here I'm sitting 6 years later, right, and I'm not seeing anything in 6 years except that we spent millions on engineering fees, right? But I'm not seeing the benefit yet. So I don't see any light or any hope. So I would say we go down one of the two roads and sell it all, or do it in-house and get them the manpower and the support they need to do it. But what we're doing here just looks like we're spinning wheels and wasting a lot of money, unless it's because the iBank isn't going to pay us if we do it. In which case then it goes back to the sell, right? Then let's sell it and let the iBank, let whoever bought it apply to the iBank and do that. And they'll get all that money for free.
Councilman, just point of order. Would you yield your time to some other council members? And
Yes.
I'll go right back to you.
Yes.
Any other council members like to speak?
Yeah, I just have a quick question. What happened to the Mott McDonald report then? I mean, back in the Lanky administration, somebody came down to my house and dropped this big, gigantic sewer report down on my front steps and said, Mr. Kentos, you're pretty smart with this stuff. What's going on here? We have 17 pump stations. They want between like $500,000 and $1 million to rebuild them all. Is that what these guys are doing? They're just redoing that same report?
No, this is different. And that was not a full report. So I know exactly where, I went back to that.
About
report.
300 pages. It was a pretty big report. I remember it.
Right. So it's not a full report based on what we're required to do strictly under the ACO. So at that point, I'm not aware that the ACO was actually in effect, because first thing I did when I came here was to negotiate with DEP under the ACO for the 9-year span for the 9 pump stations. But we're looking at 7,000 manholes. We're looking at 300 miles of gravity sewer main. And it is required that the engineers actually fill out the report and have to go through the iBank in order to get it all approved. So while getting the work done is one thing, having all of the structural reporting done, that requires an engineering team to do that.
And this is part of, so my understanding with the iBank in Middlesex County, and in order to be involved in that grant program, this is the process then, right? This is
Yes.
the process they're making everybody go through. I read it somewhere. I don't remember where I read it, but in order to get the grant money and go through the iBank, you have to do this process here.
We have to go through this process. So once, if the council approves this has to get uploaded into the system for them to approve and understand that it was approved by council. Then the engineering group will complete all of the bid specifications. Then that has to get uploaded. So there's a process in place, and it does require professionals to do that. The ACO, the iBank requires those reports.
Will we get some of this money back?
So that is the plan, is that we hopefully at some point would get forgiven at a very low, I think 1% rate. Is
Right, I understand the rate is very low, but I know the extra work is supposedly involved because we're going to get grant money, or we're going to get some debt forgiven if we do it the right way.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
fair enough.
Is there any other council members have any question or comments? I just want to defend the water and sewer department. I disagree 100% with my council colleague, although we campaigned together to save the water and sewer company. For the very first reason was to make sure we employed people from our town to do the work, because by selling the water company and sewer company, we were just allowing a new management company come into Edison to basically outsource, contract with the people, and recruit and hire their own people at their set wages. And we felt, and I know Councilman Brescia was 100% for where that is, but I think where the middle ground is we need a report from you by the next council meeting is we need some bragging rights of what you've accomplished. I don't want to stand here for you and defend you. I've done that too many times, and I've already given you a lot of time to come to this podium to make sure you're prepared, because I knew these questions were coming from my council member, and I don't blame him, but I'm quite certain you'll have a lot to say from where we were and where we are today. But in lieu of the struggle of what people may have wanted, including my former council member, may have thought it was a great idea, but they were going to borrow $800 million or 40 years. So when you look at our bonding, we are a AAA bond rate and we get the best rate. We are at a very low marker of where we can bond and what we spend today compared to what we can do. That would have maxed us out for 40 years. And we would have had a car dealership plan with a group that would have spent as much as they wanted, anytime they wanted, for a small problem they can turn into a big problem with no discretion, zero discretion from us. And I think there's a lot of discretion from us when you're in a hole to do a patch or do a full repair, and that which saves a lot of money. But we'll go into that in detail another day. What's on the floor today, and I think you've answered the councilman, is that we cannot do this work. So if it's fair, if anybody has any questions from the council members, the reason why we're allocating this contract is because according to the ACO, which is a consent order for the state of many towns to do all this work, we are under an order to get it done and it must be contracted. Is that correct? That's it. So you can't do the work. And if the work could be done by us, is this work that you would normally do or is it outside your scope?
So this would be work that we would normally do, especially now that we're upgrading the equipment, we're getting new equipment, we're getting new manpower. So this is the plan. It's just under the ACO, it has to get contracted.
Marlena, when's our next council meeting? May the 4th? May 6th, okay. So if it's fair enough that you can be ready for Rich and give us some bragging rights of all the great things you're correcting, all the water you saved and different things, I'm no longer going to do it for you. You can, and I think you should stand on your own by now. It's been 7 years, and I'm proud of where we are, but I'd like you to convince my colleague and other colleagues the same. Thank you.
Yeah, Council President, just clarity. We can't do it ourselves, and we have to contract it because of the agreement with the state, or is that for the iBank?
We're required to provide engineering reports. That's what's required under the ACO and the iBank, both.
Okay, but you gave them the engineering reports. That would be B, right? That's the engineering report. When you go through it and you look at it, the other on the top, they need, I don't understand the purpose or why they would need that.
The engineers are building the bid specifications for us, all of the technical,
Well, I understand.
all of that. So it's not, again,
if you're bidding it, right, I understand somebody has to put the bid together.
Right, and that's what they're doing for all of the 5 phases that are listed on here.
Okay, then I'm lost. So the bidding spec, right, is A or B?
Both. They're 2 separate because they're broken into phases. So phase 1 is the first is A, and then phases 3 through 5 is for B.
Okay, but so A says to repair. It's for the repair. So A, I believe this is $600,000 to come up with a bid spec for us. B is just us actually going through and inspecting all the sewers so that then they can come back at $600,000 a phase to design it. Like in what I'm reading. So like what I'm saying to you, or what my question is, if I approve both these today, right, I will never see another engineer come to me in front of this dais asking for money for our sewer system. Because you wouldn't need it for designing, you wouldn't need it for looking, you're good. The sewer is good, right? We just approved whatever we approved, and you won't need an engineer for anything more. Because I don't think that's the case. I think you're going to come back to this body for an additional 500 times 3, another $1.5 million to design the bid spec for phases 3, 4, and 5.
We'll provide you all of the different scope of work, including the different phases and what's required.
Councilman, just point of order. We're about 17 minutes on this subject. Would you offer a courtesy to move on from this?
Well, you know what, can we get this? What about we do this?
I mean, there's going to be several phases, and you're going to get more engineering, so that's a fact.
Well,
This is one part of one phase.
Wait, let's
Council
just,
President, there's no phase 2 here. So if my math is correct, we go phase 1 and 3, 4, 5. There's no phase 2, so that's got to be in the woodwork somewhere.
well, so here's what I'm asking, right? And I think as a council body, we should have this before we move forward. So I'm not saying I won't vote for this, okay? But if I can get this, I'll vote for this. How's that? This is a multi-tiered thing, right? And what I'd like our sewer department to do, to help, I guess, like the BA give us this, is can we get a list for the sewer department of all the engineering? You can call it phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and then list what we approved. And then if you have to list it as design for bid, right? So we want to add an additional 500,000 for each one of those phases, list that, right? And then the approximate cost to repair, right? Pump stations or gravity systems, so that we have an entire scope that's built out, that we know what we're going to be spending. And then from there, we could talk to the administration on a plan, on their 9-year plan, on how they plan on getting there, right? And that's a good thing. Because right now, I'm not really understanding. I'm saying, okay, let's move ahead, all right? But I think we should have a breakdown to know, because I never, ever, in my mind, would I have thought that I was going to hire an engineer after I hired the engineer to look at the whole system, to now hire the engineer to tell me what I need to do to fix it. Because I thought that's what we were doing. I thought that was the purpose of our sewer and water department. So I was mistaken, right? And I'd just like a breakdown of it all.
Sure, we can certainly provide that. I just want to know the backup does provide the breakdown of exactly what's to be done. Not only the bid specifications, as I mentioned, but there's construction oversight.
Oh.
So if our folks are doing the work, for example, Lero would be there to do all of the inspecting and the reporting that would then get uploaded into the DEP and to the iBank. So there is a lot more in that's attached here that if you...
Well, okay, so where I'm going is if we have if I'm building a building and I hire a site contractor, I hire an independent third-party contractor to come out and inspect it, right? And there's a lot of them you can do, and they're fairly cheap to do. There's nowhere near $580,000 they're going to spend doing this. But at the end of the day, when I'm having my own township employees do it, I don't know that I want an outside. Why am I going to pay for an outside inspector? My guys here this is like me working on my own home. I'm going to do the best possible for my home. And I think that's what they're doing. I don't know that I want to pay for an outside inspector to watch over our guys do work. I think I trust them. They're going to do the best work possible. So yes, this whole thing here is like really sticking with me. But if we can get a breakdown, now I know you said you gave me a breakdown for what this is. That's not what I just asked for. I asked for a breakdown now, breaking out the entire timeline of the sewer department. If we just can do it one department at a time, from where we are to where we need to be with the work done, right, with projected numbers. And I fully understand if you put this cost $1 million and the pump station actually costs $2 million, right? I'm okay with that, but I'm just looking for some kind of, because this one caught me by surprise. Like I said, I thought after it was inspected, we were going to start doing repairs. Just like originally, and I can't say that I can say this, I don't want to put it that Sonia was here, because Sonia might not even have been here when this happened. Might have been the prior administration. But what happened was we were supposed to inspect our sewer mains, right? It was one of the big things. And we came to a meeting, and the director came, And I said, when can we do this? And he said, we're going to have our guys inspect the sewer mains, right? We can go back, we can look at videos. And then what happened was I said, well, about how long does this take? And the director told us something like 6 months. And I said, listen, do me a favor. I'm not looking to put words in your mouth. I'll give you a year. And then like I normally do, right? 14 or 13 months later, we had the director here. And I asked him, I said, where are we with it? And he said, well, I've inspected some. And I said, some, but I mean, we're supposed to have them all done. And right after that, we went then and we started hiring someone to go look at all of it. So, you know, here I am, I'm sitting, and this is where my council president was going, was we're sitting here now 6 years, 7 years later, and we're at a point where we're not seeing like results. And I do know that the water department did some great work. They found some water issues, and I'm not disputing that, right? But we're not hitting the whole goal of what we were trying to do, okay? And at this rate, when we did 7 years now, and I look at what we accomplished over what our whole scale was, I don't see how 9 years from now we're ever going to be able to finish. So that's where I'm going with this whole timeline and thing broken out, so that I could see what all this engineering might cost us, and then what all the construction might cost us.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman.
That would be a council.
Just some takeaways here. Could you provide us, for the ACO only, some anticipated proposed projects, and that a line item of expertise that you will need along with that? From what you're telling me, and what the counselor tells me, according to the infrastructure bank, we must have a engineering work and an outside contractor. Oh, so we just need to identify what is coming up in the near future. You got 9 projects left that you're going to be coming to for phase 2, replacing, repairing, reconstructing. We'll need an engineer, we'll need permit. Just give us that anticipated stuff. I think that's half of what he's saying. And Sonia, can we have a separate meeting with the council member and myself so we can be more prepared and there'll be less questions? Is that fair, Rich?
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to join, please let us know. Again, I think it's the best thing we've done. A council member has the right to speak his opinion, but I think it's the best thing we've ever done having us do it. But I hope you'll impress the councilman with what you've accomplished. Again, I won't be batting for you in that room either. So please come up and speak on your merits, and I'll be certainly hopeful and applauding inside my mind that you did some great things in our department. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, Council President, one last thing. Sonia, are we under any deadlines for this, timelines for the iBank, that these inspections need to be done? We need to produce reports?
Well, it's the 9 years that you're looking at.
Okay.
In totality.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys. All right, moving forward. Just last, was there any questions or comments from the Water Department on 13? Hearing none. And it's fair to say we gave almost 30 minutes of time to that. And I apologize for those who are listening, but that was necessary. And the council member has the right to speak. Okay. I know it wasn't 4 minutes, but this is a big spend. Thank you for your support. Moving on to the regular council meeting. It is now 6:43. We're going to move on to our combined session of the first, the approval of the
15 takes place during the regular council meeting.
Listen, I'm sorry, but you're out of order. There's no reason for you to speak right now. And I'm sorry. You'll have your moment to speak. Okay? We're going to start the regular meeting. The approval of the minutes, please. 14. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Moving on to 15, the public works, public comments on resolutions only. Please come forward if you have any questions on the resolutions only for 4 minutes. Ms. Tar in the back, please come up.
Lois Torr, Vice Chair of the Cultural Arts Commission. Resolution I'm questioning is 201. We're glad to see you've reappointed Varsha to the commission, but at our meeting last week, the mayor was present, and as Councilman Dima will remember, he told us there would be no problem in reappointing the people whose terms have already expired. There were 5 of them. They're not on the agenda, and I'm wondering whether it's a timing issue or there was some other reason that they were not appointed.
I'll be sure to speak to him and get it on the next agenda. Do you have any comment?
I may, do they have applications that were resubmitted in the last, even though they're already on the board, did they resubmit applications? Because if their application is 2 years old, there's some requirement that it needs to be resubmitted. I had to do it for people who we were reappointing as well.
I believe somewhere, I know one was not. One was doing the last year.
Okay. Just something to check into, that's all.
We'll look at it now. We'll get an answer before you leave. I'll speak to Marlena.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thank you for coming. Anybody else who'd like to speak from the public, please come up. Sure. Mr. Passoff's coming up first. He cut right in front of you. It's okay. Did you feel he was taking your place? Did you want to come up? Okay, sure, Mr. Passoff. It's all yours. Welcome.
Joel Bassoff, Beach Lane, Edison.
Can you speak? Yeah, can you speak?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I have questions on the resolutions. 199, Taurus Advisory Group. So I noticed that that's not a fair and open contract. So my questions are, who is Taurus? How did they come to Edison's attention? Did the administration consider any other consultants? Is this something, since it's not a fair and open bidding process, should it be run by a council committee for evaluation to compare other consultants? How is Taurus going to be compensated? Does Taurus have a financial incentive to get Edison to change power suppliers? Had the administration considered any other consultants or brokers? For example, right next door in Highland Park, there's Gable Associates, and according to their website, they serve over 180 municipalities and counties. Do we have any benchmarks that will be used to evaluate Taurus's performance? Do we know of the experience of any other municipalities that utilize Taurus? What exactly will they be doing for Edison? Are they just going to evaluate? Are they going to be purchasing energy? What's exactly the scope of the work? And in general, should the council have a committee to review no-bid contracts in order to fulfill its oversight responsibilities? And I have a question about resolutions 221 and 222, following up with what Councilman Brescher was asking about. I just wonder, wouldn't it be more cost-effective for the township's sewer department to buy a camera, hire an inspector, and perform the inspections in-house? And with regard to 221, with $583,000 for an engineering firm to supervise, is my understanding correct that whoever supervises the repairs, that's just a fraction of the cost of the actual repairs? What will we be looking at for whoever actually performs the repairs? What's the scope of the expense that we're looking at if just the supervisory cost for the engineering firm is $583,000? And then I have a question about Resolution 194, the disbursements. Is the council concerned that Edison is making disbursements and the council hasn't even seen a budget yet? So the state set a firm deadline by law of February 28th for the mayor to submit a budget to the council. And now we're in the last half of April, and my understanding is that the mayor has not provided you, the council, with a budget. And the council was obligated by law to introduce a budget no later than the first meeting in April. And is the council concerned that you've missed that deadline? And is each member of the council aware that the director of local government services can fine each member of the council $100 personally for each day that the budget is late? And have members of the council have been screaming at the mayor to provide you with a budget so that you can fulfill your statutory obligations. So those are my questions.
Okay, let's start with the first one. The energy no bid contract he has spoken about in question. Could you give us some reasons why we chose this contractor and any benchmarks or performance or how they save us money?
So under the local public contracts law, this is a professional service. Energy aggregation under the local public contracts law is a professional service. It's deemed so. So that does not require, and so this is it's a non-fair and open, of course. So we are allowed absolutely under the local public contracts law to award it to this vendor. We are confident that this vendor would be able to provide what we are looking for in terms of both electrical and natural gas supply to go out and to get good pricing for us.
And this is all market driven, so correct?
Yes.
Market driven. And how is this person compensated?
So if it is usually a three-year contract under the gas, and then a 2-year contract. The compensation we would pay, right?
It's a broker.
This contract that we are doing is just for allowing them to go and research for us which vendors could do bidding. We do not pay this contract at all, and we are not obligated to do contract with any vendors they pick, and they are being compensated by their bidding process. It's like our procurement process that they are gonna do because they know better than our procurement office about the energy. Okay. So they look for better prices for energy, and then they said, okay, these ones you could go with. We think this is going to be better for you to change it, but if we do not want it, we don't.
Okay. And we do this every 2 years or every year?
It's a 2 and 3 year for electric and gas.
Okay. Can we have a history of the year before for the next meeting, just so we have a comparison?
Of our costings? You mean? Sure.
Okay. I hope that was helpful for you, Mr. Bassoff. Moving on to the engineering for the sewer. You had questions on the performance work of the $583,000. You also had a question on whether we should have our own sewer inspection for a camera. We do have our own, and this is something, again, part of the ACO, part of the infrastructure bank, part of the requirements of what we need. Sonia, did you want to answer any of the questions to clarify some things he mentioned?
The only other question I have was under 194, under the disbursements we're operating a temporary budget, so we are cleared in terms of our spending. So there is no concern. And we are working closely with the state to make sure that we deliver a proper budget, which would be introduced at the next meeting. So we are working closely with the state, so we are okay.
And it's about stuff I do appreciate you reminding me probably about 7 times this year when to deliver the budget, and I think you may have done it last year as well. But what I'm surprised is that you've never said it before during the Lanky administration, and he gave me the budget in August. And I'm not asking, or am I touting your opinion to deliver this to us and tell us this information, but I'm actually in shock that the administration has got so much better. Councilman Patil and Councilman Brescher and I have served the longest on this council, and we used to get the budget, I think, about August 15th. And I plan that this budget will be here in May, and I hope you'll be happy with it. And we're certainly going to work hard on it together. I don't see any of the questions that you may have had.
But I'm sure the budget is earlier because I'm asking for it. So.
Hey, listen, you're welcome. I just was surprised you never asked under the Lanky administration, that's all.
I'm trying to make up for it.
That's okay. All right, no problem. Is there anybody else that had any questions or comments on the resolutions only? Sure, please come up. Oh. To the right. Ms. Conway. I forget your name sometimes. I apologize.
Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle. I just have a question about numerous resolutions because they're very unclear. Some of the resolutions have an exact figure. Other resolutions don't have figures at all. And then these two large ones, R21 and R22, is that an exact figure or is that a not to exceed figure? Because I get afraid when they're just given a figure and then down the line there's a change order or an update. So are these not to exceed items? And there's a few of them.
And sorry, point of order, Ms. Conway, and I'll stop the clock. Can you be specific to tell me what you want me to look at? Because your first statement was there are a lot that don't have.
Right.
I'll give you the time to look at it. You can sit back down and I'll have someone else go. I just want to be specific to tell me what you're asking for. Could you restart the clock, please?
Okay. R199, Resolution for Tourist Advisory Group. It just says advisory services. There's no dollar amount. Resolution awarding contract purchase order for vendors for computer.
What number was that? I'm sorry.
That's R202. That's $100,000. Is that an exact figure?
Okay, I just want to get all of them from you. What else?
203, resolution order awarding a contract for auctioneer services. There's no dollar figure for that one. For R221, there's $582,000. Is that an up to or a not to exceed? And 222, is that an up to or not to exceed? And I did notice that there's no phase 2. Did we already do that one? Or is there supposed to be a 2 somewhere in this 1 through 5?
Which one were you referring to, please? 222 was the last resolution you mentioned.
No, but 221 and 222. 221 is phase 1. 222 is phase 3, 4, and 5. Is phase 2 with phase 1, or is phase 2 with 2, 3, and 4, 3, 4, and 5? It's just not listed.
Okay. Is that all for resolutions?
Yes.
You still have more. You still have more time. Is there anything else you want to discuss or ask questions about?
No, I would just like to see that we move forward and show the dollar figures that are on these resolutions.
Just to clarify, on the back table in the resolution, we'll answer every question you have. But as a courtesy, you come a lot. I mean, you ask questions, we'll answer them for you. Would you mind going through these real quick? 199?
No, I'll just say for generalization. So the clerk's office, when you're doing the titles, it should say not to exceed. So to Ms. Conway's point, the $100,000, it's a not to exceed. It should explicitly say that in the title.
We'll make that.
It should be corrected moving forward.
We'll make that correction and the line item. I'll leave that on me.
Okay. So just moving forward, the resolution explicitly states so, and it should be on there with the amount. So that's just a clerical
That was my
error.
question, yes. Okay.
So generally speaking, so if you're, I mean, I can go through the list, but I do understand some of the questions that you had as far as those. So that one is not to exceed, and then you had the phase 2, just by the way, it was for the inspections, and that was already awarded. It's underway. For the Water and Sewer Department?
The Water and Sewer should take questions on identifying the phase 1 and phase 2.
Phase 2 was already awarded by the council for inspection services, and that's underway.
Okay. All right, thank you, Ms. Conway. And I'll be sure to make sure we correct those line items on there. I'm going to sit down with the clerk for a couple hours, so you and I are going to really have it. All right, and a full meeting next week. Anybody, any other questions on the... Joyce, please come up. I'm sorry. Welcome.
How are you? Joyce Ship, Edison, New Jersey. Just a quick correction to him. When I was president and head of the finance, we did get a budget made before the midterms. We got a budget before the midterms because we did a whole big thing at Middlesex County College. And the reason why they're talking about improving the disbursements, if you understand saying senior citizens and the way the quarterly thing is, if you wait to the third quarter and they don't have any money to visit their grandkids and during Thanksgiving and Christmas, when you can add all the extra money on that we're hoping that you don't add on to the budget. And now let me get to it. Somebody already answered the question about the Taurus, and I wanted to know more about the enhancement infrastructure grant for $500,000. Do we have to match that? And
point of order, just Joyce, what number of resolution did you want to discuss?
Sorry. Okay, that is 204.
Okay.
And when Councilman Brescher was asking questions and getting answers, we didn't care if he took 45 minutes because it's better to have the informed public. And going all the way back 5 years, I've been hearing this story about the I-Bank, the I-Bank, the I-Bank. It's supposed to be giving us this great big deal. The I-Bank, the I-Bank. Then I'm listening to him when he's explaining, and they're telling that 9 years, we got 9 years. Okay? Now, I knew, 40 years was ridiculous at all. But I'm starting to get very disheartened with this whole water thing because you're telling me 9 years. That means you just made a deal now, and you stretched the money over 10 years. So that means that we're going to be stuck with some money, something that we're going to owe over the next 10 years when they say 9 years. And as I was listening to you back and forth, and you kept talking about this engineer, and then this space is missing, and that space is missing, and coming back for money for D, E, and F, and G, and whatever, the thing back and forth, it really disheartens me that we spending this much time and this much energy, and I don't really see anything getting done. I see, there's a water break over here. Here we go. We all go running. But I just thought it, like when the Councilman Brescher had stated years ago about the people here, the water department, sewer department, going and underground and seeing all the different places. And I know from the other water man that used to be in charge that he said that they found different spots that this water thing was supposed to be over here, but yet it's not over there. And my whole problem with them fixing this and taking 9 years, okay, is the fact that Middlesex County College, after they cut down over 120 trees, I'm really very, that's closer to my house. I'm really worried about the water infrastructure, okay? And I don't care if that bores you, Councilman Coyle, at all. And I know you get frustrated because you only want to spend 10 minutes in the meeting, but y'all sure you asked for money. So I just want to know, this whole 9-year thing, is this going to be real? Or are we going to see some paperwork on it? Like he said that it was delivered at his house before, the information. Mott McDonald, I remember all that. I was sitting right up there through that whole first phase and all the stories that were told. So I just want to know, are we going to get an envelope and a high stack like we got before? And I want to know, what's going to happen to us that with all this new water and stuff, and how is it located, for Middlesex? I'm disturbed.
Okay. I'm not going to go too deep. There weren't a lot of questions. There's just a lot of comments. But I will say, as I said before, the water and sewer company is doing a great job. I think what comments were made just now were based on some reports that we did in the past. And at that time, we were looking at selling our water company, and we had an engineering report done to sell the water company, and it was based on useful life. It was not based on a CTV or camera work. It was a guess game of what could be wrong based on the life of what we appeared to assume was old infrastructure, which is true. But how true? There was no 100% guarantee of what that report meant was accurate. We spent hours and hours with those engineers to prove that it was pretty much an opinion of useful life of that particular report. Today we have CTV all of our piping, and we have more accurate data. We have critical infrastructure that's going to be repaired. We have work that's been done with photography and imaging that will tell us exactly what needs to be done. So compared to yesterday and compared to today are two different things. But we'll move forward. And again, I think the sewer department is going to have a raving cheerleading report of what they've accomplished. Today was not a good job. I'm not impressed, but I hope to have a great report. I'm just saying it like it is because each time I have to defend the water and sewer department, and I know you're doing a great job, but you got to come up here with some better stuff because the people have the right to ask. Moving forward, any other questions or resolutions? Please.
Council President, I mean to interrupt, but there was one question to answer with regard to Resolution 204.
Oh, 204, I'm sorry.
It's not a matching grant.
It's another matching grant?
Grant.
It's not a matching grant?
Correct.
Okay, I'm sorry, Joyce, it was not a matching grant. Okay, please, welcome, how are you?
Good. Sue Malone Barber, 85 Pleasant Avenue. Just a question on 199. Why did we pick Taurus and not another company? Just curious. It sounds like Taurus is a broker and they're going to recommend their own people, and anybody could do that, right? So just curious as to why that is. And then on 222, the $583,000 is to supervise, my understanding, but correct me if I don't have this right, supervise the actual repairs, assess and supervise the repairs. So if that's the cost for that, what is the cost of the actual repairs? And I understand, we have to do this, we need an engineer report and engineering supervision in order to get the I bond. But I thought we already received bond money for the repair of the water and sewer. And that's part of the $180 million bond that's already in existence. So can someone explain that?
You have more time left. Do you want to continue to ask more questions?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Because we'll answer them at the end of your time, if you want.
I'm done.
Okay. Can we have someone come up from sewer? Would you mind coming up to this side and grab a microphone so we can not share the podium to just explain this contract? Who's coming up?
Are you
Sonia?
referring to the Taurus contract?
She had questions on the 583,000, questions on the scope of the work and what will the cost of repairs be?
But we don't know what the cost of the repairs will be just yet. We have to go out and spec the work.
Okay. Understood. I just wanted to hear from one of you.
Sure.
And then my other question was, I thought we'd already bonded. I thought we already got bond money to repair the sewer and the water.
We did. We bond, but then we have to spend against it.
Right, but this is not to spend against it, is it?
Of course. If you look at the budget account, it's in there.
Oh, so
it refers to that.
This 582 plus the 800,000 is spending the bond money we already have.
We have to spend the bond money. It's required under the infrastructure bank. And then once it's approved by the infrastructure bank, then we would replenish our bonding.
I'm not sure I understand that. Okay.
What, you want to explain it again? I heard it loud and clear.
Okay. This council or this body or previous bodies have approved all of the bonding for the infrastructure, everything that's required under the ACO. So now we are spending against it. It's required under the ACO that we do the bonding and we spend against it. Then it goes into the infrastructure bank. They approve the funding and then they send it to our bank account essentially.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, please come up. Welcome.
Hi, Diana Jaffe, 86 Laurel Hollow Court. I just have a real quick question of clarification on 223. What is that number in the amount of, there's commas, there's dashes, there's software system in the amount of, just don't know what that.
377,000, correct?
The typo?
Yes, they,
Was it, was?
Yeah, it just should not be a dash there. It's 377,609.
191.
691?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's all, thank you.
No problem, thank you. Say hello to the councilman for us, please. Any other questions or comments on resolutions only from the public? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion for resolutions? Have a motion.
Second.
Have second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Public portion is closed. Moving on through the agenda. From my right, Councilman Brescia, would you like to pull any items from the agenda? And resolutions only.
No, not at this
I
time.
thought you would put Lero systems out.
Okay, that's all right. Councilmember Dima.
No.
Council Vice President Kentos.
Not at this time.
Councilmember Patel.
None.
Councilmember Asaf Shmuel.
No.
Okay, moving forward, can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Have a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Brescher.
Yes.
Councilmember Dima.
Yes.
Councilmember Kentos.
Yes.
Councilmember Patel.
Yes.
Councilmember Shmuel.
Yes.
Council President Coyle.
Yes. We're moving to 18, reports on all council committees. From my right, Councilmember Brescher.
None at this time.
Did I miss that part? Hold on here, what did we do wrong here?
Skip 17.
I see.
Petition and remarks. After.
Yeah, so we're at the bottom there. But we can finish the committees first, no? Does it matter what order I go? Okay, we'll skip that. Rich would, they don't mind how long you talk, Rich, so I got support from people. Anyway, we're going to move to 17, open up oral petition remarks on open comments. You're welcome to comment on anything you like. This is the time where you can speak for 4 minutes on anything that's not a resolution please come up, sir, or resolutions or any matter that is important to you. Welcome. Yeah.
Harish Tatineni, 45 McKinley Street. So I guess everyone is aware of the BOE tax.
I can hear you very good. You're fine. You're fine right where it is. Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome.
So before I present some ideas and solutions tomorrow in the BOE meeting, I need some help regarding some numbers from the township. So one is the ABC revenue.
Just for a point of order, we'll listen to anything you'd like, and you can make comments. But just to clarify, which I think you probably already know, we have absolutely no authority or jurisdiction on their organizational budget process or cut spending. It's their authority, separate from us. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Next month, you'll be able to come here and talk about our budget and say whatever. But here, if you don't get a lot of responses, because we don't have authority on their budget for the Board of Education, which is a budget that's insane to have a 12% increase.
That's not what I meant.
Please, go ahead. Sure.
I just need some help from the township.
Sure, no problem.
Regarding
just want to
some
clarify
numbers that the township manages.
I'll give you the time back.
So number one is the ABC, the before-after care that is managed by recreation at various schools. Do we have an idea, if not the accurate, at least some rough estimate of what is the overall revenue, costs, and net profit every year from that? It would help a lot in terms of reducing some costs on the other end. That was number one. Second is...
You're going to go through all your questions, and then we'll answer them at the end, if you don't mind.
Second is the maintenance of those soccer, cricket, and baseball fields. I know outside teams and memberships, they come and pay membership, and they work with Mr. Bernie in the recreation department for the permits and time slots, etc. So the same question again, what's the revenue, cost of maintenance, and the overall net profit on that? So next is about the sidewalks. I believe my friend Mr. Akhtar has been following on this, but maybe I missed the response if it was given in recent past. Any update on the sidewalks near Woodrow Wilson and JPS? Those are critical areas for the middle school and high school, the Hollywood Street near the JP Stevens and all. So I know we were working, but then not sure of the latest situation about the grants and all that. Next one is a relatively simple and easy one. I believe it is the engineering department that goes and inspects the outside road, the road outside the house, where they dig it up to connect to the sewer and the plumbing lines. So I'm curious, like, if we can improve that process. I don't know what is the interval when they inspect and how good it should be, but what I have noticed is any new construction, be it commercial, residential, you go after 4 months or even say maximum 6 months, I mean, it's sinking. So I don't know what is the method they are using. They are supposed to compress it more with a machine, or, I mean, we spend millions on the roads, some from loans, some from grants, some from other sources. And it's this has been a regular observation that I have seen. I mean, if I have to give an example, my street is one such example, 45 McKinley Street. So if you go on McKinley Street, you can see that. I mean, you can feel the bump. So that is one, and one more, last one. So I don't feel happy saying this, but so if you want to take it off the record, that's fine. But for some reason...
There's been worse. I don't know if you can top it.
But for some reason, I mean, we seem to be unique in a different way. In Metuchen and Woodbridge, I see the council mayor work closely with BOE superintendent, and they get so many things done. But here, whatever the reason is, I mean, I don't want to get into the politics, but what will it take for this body to maybe approve a long-term bond of 9 or 10 million for the Talmadge land so that BOE can keep their reserves and operate smoothly. This is very much needed at this critical phase.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your time is up. You're welcome to stand. Unfortunately, we won't have a back and forth, but we will answer your questions. The revenue from ABC and the soccer maintenance, I'm going to get your email. Our director is here. I'm not going to get into that. That's a deep dive. But ordinarily, when it comes to the budget process, that's certainly every item matters. But to move the needle to save money, that's a very small needle of savings when it comes to what we generate there. But I can provide you that report. The director's in the back there. He may be able to have a conversation with you as well. He's a gentleman who'll raise his hand for you quick. I know he's anxious to talk to you. That may be possible if through the BA, if you guys can have a conversation, but we'll definitely email you, and the clerk will get your email. Okay, moving on. The sidewalks, I had a conversation this week with Akhtar, and I'm working on some sidewalks with him. Yours particularly was on Hollywood Street. It's probably in the same report that Akhtar sent to me. And the best we can to connect sidewalks, we will. If it's a longer issue, that was something we'd have to seek grant money through engineering, and that person is here as well. I'm all about connecting sidewalks to the schools, and I'm sure every member on this council is as well. What's challenging is when one side is perfect and the other side's not, and it's on the same street. We can't always make that correction as fast as having one path. Some people have no path to an area. So we will get on that. It's important, and I'll provide you a report and answers shortly. Moving to the sinking hole, each road opening in our town we have a bond. So the first phase of that sinkhole being covered is with some fill and some cement, and it's purposely made to drive over it so that it can sink for about 8 weeks, and then we go back out again. Now, if you looked in our backup paperwork today, we gave back bond money, and I know I didn't have to look because I know the engineer never tells a lie. In that packet, I'll show you after this meeting, we provide the work that they did to make sure they perfected it back to its original condition. They're supposed to also put a heat process on there to also make sure it seams properly. Now, that's probably not going to happen in March or April, but probably would happen at a later date. Councilman Brescher and other council members are very tough on this, so if you see a spot, we'll bring up your address on McKinley. Is that hole on McKinley, that your indentation? 45 McKinley?
Sinkhole, it's,
Okay.
I wouldn't term it as a sinkhole. It's uneven road.
Okay, we'll take a look at it. And as far as us working with the Board of Ed, I think regularly a few of the members on this council speak to the former President Jerry Shih and Shannon Pang. We do have a relationship with them. I can't control how they want to spend their money and how they want to administrate and who they choose to administrate for them. But I can tell you, we have a relationship to make a phone call to ask us to jump on board with someone. But the day-to-day issues of buying groceries, and getting the small things done, that's all on them. But if it comes to a big purchase, I'm quite sure the administration of the town and the mayor and this council is going to, there's no issue with us not wanting to work together for a greater good for the school system. Thank you very much, sir. Anybody else?
Mr. President, I'd like to just make one comment. I understand where we were going with the ABC program. That's funds that the township gets that I guess the Board of Ed could ask for, right? The township holds the Board of Education's money, and the township makes the money on interest. The Board of Ed's supposed to be paid, I think, quarterly, and if you paid them quarterly instead of monthly, the amount of the interest from the prior administration at that time with those interest rates amounted to almost $500,000 in interest. But the Board of Ed's hasn't asked for that, and I'll tell you a little reason why. So the state had a big problem, right? A budget problem. The state has no money, and the state has been taxing us through the roof on everything, right? So with the new governor, she didn't want to go and increase taxes because she said she wasn't going to. So in essence, what the governor does is she passes those tax increases down to the municipal level. So she passed them to the Board of Ed by not funding them at the same rate that they were funded before, right? So the problem comes with the governor's office and their budget. But by us offsetting, so if the township were to give the Board of Ed the ABC money or interest or whatever that is, as opposed to the township keeping those funds, then the township's budget. So at the end of the day, you as a resident, you have three entities, right? You have the county, they go in your back pocket, and you got the township, we go in the left pocket and the Board of Ed goes in the right. But at the end of the day, your pockets, you're looking to transfer money, it's the same money, you're just going to lose it out of a different pocket. So if the township were to try and help the Board of Education by transferring the ABC money that we make on those kind of programs, right, the township would just have less money.
It's a township-run program. We hire the folks and we have to pay all of the staff. So I don't know how that would transpose into, essentially you're asking us to just give money, but we're spending money.
Right. No.
People.
Right. And I think where the question was if you raise $1.7 million and you expel in payroll and salaries, right? You expel $1 million and you make $700,000. I think where they were going was, could that $700,000 be transferred to the Board of Ed? But if we did that, our budget here would go up $700,000.
That's a tax point. That's right.
Right. And so to the taxpayer, they're at net neutral either way, whether it would be the township or the Board of Ed. It's just blaming a different entity, which the state did by them shorting us the money, right? So now everybody's upset with the Board of Ed when everybody should be upset that the state's not fully funding, our education program is really where it lies.
Yeah.
But yes, I just wanted to clarify that.
He didn't ask, just a point of order, he didn't ask that question, but I think it helped. You definitely spun into a nice snowball for all of us. Thank you. I appreciate that. But there are numerous things that the Board of Ed does that we don't complain about and we don't get reimbursed for. So I could provide a list at the next council meeting if you'd like. And if you can get that back for us, that would be wonderful as well. But moving forward, since we're all, we did.
Council President.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The gentleman also had a question about maintenance of the fields.
Oh, I asked that he respond back, that you can.
Oh, no, I'm not answering it.
I asked that the director respond back by email with him.
All right.
And Council President, there was a question about Talmadge property.
Yeah, well, he asked about Talmadge, and yeah, I said we would work with the Board of Ed. Okay, we're going to move forward here. Still, public portion is open. Yeah, AJ, please come up.
Good evening, Ben from Edison. Do I have the floor, Council President?
Sure, welcome.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Thank you. It's an honor. I'm not sure. I just want to say thank you guys for doing what you guys do for this township, for real. Also, I think I wasn't here at the last council. Well, I think I seen a video presentation about your wrestling years, Joe. I didn't know you were a wrestler. I give you props for that. Just don't beat me up on the map.
Rich didn't know either.
Yeah, I think we didn't know. I guess none of the residents know that you're a wrestler. But hey, hey, we love you, Joe. We really
it's
do.
all good.
It's all good.
I love Rich.
I know, and Rich loves you too, and we all love you. Don't beat us up. Anyway, man, I have I'm not sure what is going on with our dealerships. Why they're putting brand new drivers like myself in a 2026 Hyundai Elantra, you can call it SE. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, because they put me in that vehicle in Hudson Hyundai, and then they also were trying to put me in Nissan, a 2026 Nissan car. I'm not sure what's going on with these new drivers. And
could you repeat the question? I'm lost. Are you talking about Uber or the township vets?
No, I'm asking what. I'm not sure if you guys noticed this, but I'm not sure why they're bringing new. So I'm a new driver. They're bringing me a brand new out of the box smart car type stuff. Like, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of it. I'm not sure what's the whole deal with new drivers with brand new vehicles. I don't even know. So, because
I'm just lost. Are you asking about the selection of a process of manufacturing?
I'm not sure if you guys are aware of the dealerships are just bringing out new drivers with new vehicles. I'm not sure you're aware of it, but if you're not, then you should just take a look because, yeah, there's a lot of new vehicles I've been seeing. One of them that I have is a safety vehicle. It's one of smart vehicles, but
Rich owns the most cars. I'd refer to him after the meeting.
Okay.
Well, right now he owns the most cars, but that can all change.
Oh, wow.
That can all change. I think there could be a change of who's in charge at the house soon.
Go. That sounds about right.
Got rid of a boat already, so I mean, I'm kidding.
I should get myself my pilot license, but nah. Be getting the hell out of here. But anyway,
Any other questions you have?
No, I just wanted to just say you guys are amazing. Keep doing the good work. I have nothing else to say.
I'm sorry, what'd you say again?
I said, I just want, yo, Joe, I just want to say congratulations and good job on everything that you guys do in this township. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I remain back. I'm done with my time. Take care.
Yeah, thank you. Sure. Did you have something? I'm sorry.
President, I don't know about you, but when I go to a car dealer, they normally try to put me in the most expensive vehicle on the lot.
Yeah. They don't let me in.
I asked for SUV. They never did it. They never gave me. They gave me like a sedan. So yeah, it's all good, Robert.
Oh, thank you.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Okay. Sure, please, Mr. Joe Romano, please come up.
Joe Romano, 55 Avenue C, Edison. Does anybody remember 2008?
Yes.
I bet you do. The council took $6.5 million from the school budget. Governor Christie took another $12.5 million. Remember that? It was really good there. To be honest with you, the fields, yeah. The fields are maintained by the town and by the Board of Ed. Be honest with you, that's for the students of Edison Township. They pay for that. The kids, the parents, they pay for those fields. You know, it's taxpayers' money. The township, from what I understand, wanted to, but can't, about a piece of property. I wish a lot of people would get together and talk about that, but they don't want to talk about that because one entity said something and the entity and then the other entity, and by the time it was all done, it's still an empty field. That empty field was $1.4 million when it became empty. Nobody wanted to use it, or somebody wanted to use it, but they couldn't use it. Now all of a sudden it's a big deal. I'd like to buy it for $1.4 million. I'll bet you a bunch of people here would like to buy that piece of property. In fact, the outline of the property is outlined with Belgian block. Does anybody want to take and talk about $1.4 million? That's what it was worth. Now you want to take and build something on it that, go right ahead. But there were people that asked about that. There were people that actually discussed it with people. You know, people start talking about things that they really don't know about. That's a problem. Let's go back to 2008. When people on that dais, right there, none of them are here now. Took $6.5 million from the school budget. And then 12.5. So people, remember what they did. Remember how they took $18 million from the school budget. And the funding finally came back. But to be perfectly honest, when you take all of that away, your residents lost their jobs. So they couldn't take and pay. I wish everybody would remember that. My name's Joe Romano. I was there. I sat at that table right over there when they said, cut with a scalpel, not with a hatchet.
Time is up, Mr. Romano. Thank you.
You have a wonderful night.
You too.
I'll talk to you later.
Yep, I'm glad you came. Welcome. Okay, anybody else that we may have missed? Okay, well, this gentleman's never gone before. Would you mind yielding your time? It's first time, it's first time I've seen him here. No, well, welcome. I mean, we all always want to welcome new people.
My name is Kulbinder Dhamija.
Welcome.
I'm a resident since 2009.
Sir, you may want to come near the microphone.
You got to get closer. You can just closer so we can hear you.
Yeah, I've been living here for more than 15 years.
Great.
And it's the first time I came to Township and I saw this room and I asked them, of course I came to Township before and they told me what goes on here. So today I'm here just to see what goes on here.
Do you want to share your address?
Yes, 10 Sturgis Road.
Sturgis, okay, great.
Yeah, I live very close by. I come for a walk. Today also I came for a walk.
You walked?
On my way down, I just stopped here. I said, let me see what goes on here. You're doing a very fine job. You spend your time here. I have a couple of things to say from my own experience. There's a way always to do things better with less money. And that thing I see missing in most of the say, and the government bodies, that's not there. They always want to do more things, they want more money. I have worked for a company where we could do that 20 years back, that we could save money by doing things differently. And a lot of money we could save. So if that could be a consideration, I want to give you an example about my healthcare. In my case, I could manage my health with $2,000 and my wife $1,000 plus. That was the expense. Then came the Obamacare. Oh, no, you got to be insured. So we got insured and we got the money, and too much money was given away to the insurance. And my expense has been same. And now I'm on Medicare. Again, I don't know how much money the government is paying, but my expense is about $2,000, $2,500. So that's the way, if we can run the insurance certain way. I met the mayor about 2-3 years back. I met him twice. And I told him, in case we can run the healthcare of the township employees and the school employees ourselves, we can save tons of money. And it will put money in the township pocket and school pocket, employees pocket, and someone doing it like me. I told them I can put my own money here up front and take on the initiative. I'll arrange the money. I'm not a rich person, but I can arrange the money and put my money on this initiative. I sent an email to the council. I sent an email to the schools, and I tried to the mayor also, and I went to the HR department, and whatever I could do, I did, and then I stopped because, it's okay. It's fine. I'm just giving an example how the money can be saved. And we can give the quality of service can be improved also. And what I want to get in a general sense, and I want to put my own pain here now, about the taxes. The taxes are same. I'll give you an example. There are two houses, one person earning 40,000, husband, wife living there. Similar house across the street. There's a family. There are 4 people, 2 grown-ups, making 10 times more money, 8 times more money. And they have 2 children who go to school. And the budget is 21,000 per child. And both are paying the same tax because they have similar houses. So one guy making 40,000, other guy making 400,000, same kind of houses, and that guy is also having children going to school. So I don't know if there's a way in the township where they can give a rebate to the senior citizens, to disabled, and to veterans who are low income. And there's a lot of money. Everything can be done. But again, if somebody has to put a thought to it and put a process and have the attitude to help. Thank you. My time
Thank
is
you.
up.
No, we appreciate it very much. There weren't many questions here, so I'll make some brief comments. Just you mentioned insurance. You hit the nail on the head. Insurance is our biggest issue in our budget. However, we're obligated under union contracts. It's not as easily negotiated. It is something that happens over a term, and then it overlaps to a second term. Each time we can renegotiate that. But I do understand what you're saying, and I appreciate the time you came, and please come again. Okay? Anyone else that'd like to speak? Ms. Conway? Sorry, Mr. Bassoff, she was, if you sat up front, I could see you.
Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle.
Welcome.
Thank you. I just wanted to make an announcement. I'm a member of the Edison Human Relations Commission, and on May 2nd, we'll be hosting a Let's Go Fly a Kite Unity in the Air Festival at Dudash Park from 11 to 3. And if you have your own kite, come join us. If you don't have a kite and would like to purchase a kite, come join us. If you'd like to come and put a kite together with a kit, come join us. There's a very nominal fee if you'd like to purchase one of them. And it's going to be a fun afternoon. There's face painting, there's music and dancing and games, and we're going to have a great time. And if there's anybody out there in the community that's looking for community service, come join us, and it'll be a fantastic day. That's my first thing. Second thing, I just wanted to let you know that there was another close call on the T section of Inman Avenue and Old Raritan Road. And I hate to stand here, and I feel bad for the people that live on that corner, but they have really nice bushes on the corner, and the leaves are now coming out, which is making it a little more difficult to see to the right. And I do go through there either twice or 4 times a day, so this gives me the chance to be very careful. Another item I'd like to talk about is the budget presentation. I know, Mr. Coyle, you had mentioned to Mr. Bassoff that nobody ever complained when it was Mayor Lanke. Well, I recall very clearly being at Middlesex County College in a big arena, and it was the first time I heard the budget presentation, and it was like August. And I thought, hey, this is really great that your budget is so ahead of time for the following year. And he looked at me like, no, it's for this year. And they kind of explained to me that, well, no, we've been spending money for the last 8 months, and now the budget is out, and God only knows where we're going to get the money for the following 4 months of the year. So there were many people complaining about that, and I am glad to see that we have moved back, and I would like it to move back even further if there's a requirement to February 28th. That's number 2. Another item regarding the Board of Education. We went with a board meeting, and they gave the budget, and it came out that it was 11.9%, and people were very upset, including me. But they explained it is a preliminary budget. It wasn't the final budget to be voted upon. And I was very glad to see people come out and give suggestions, and people come out and voice their frustration, because there's nothing worse than sitting in a room with barely any people. Tonight, we've got a few people. I'm not by myself tonight.
Just a point of order, and I'll stop the clock. You've had a lot of experience on the board. I wasn't there. What did you have to offer?
That I thought...
If you want to share, and I'm not putting you on the spot.
The one item that I was always upset at, even when I was on the budget, was subscription busing. Because I was always taught that subscription busing had to pay for itself. And to my knowledge, it didn't. Some of it fell back onto the Board of Ed. So that was my number 1 item. And number 2 is show us where you can work more financially.
Okay.
So I
thank you.
Encourage.
Can you add time back to the clock, please?
Did you put my time back?
25 seconds.
Okay. The only thing that I would like to say, I was a little disappointed when I saw the mayor and the administration coming out so vehemently against what was going on. We need to be more together. If you don't, you know the old saying, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Be more helpful.
Yeah.
You can have the 12 seconds.
Somehow I don't see that everywhere, but thank you for your comments, Ms. Conway. I think the mayor's doing a great job being outspoken about this BOE budget. And if there was a mayor that chose to say nothing, I'd be ashamed. I'd be ashamed to sit back and say nothing. So I'm proud of what he's done in his administration. I'm looking forward to other council members making remarks on another day. All right, moving forward, is there anything else I may have missed? Ms. Joyce, please come up.
Joyce Ship, Edison, New Jersey.
Welcome.
Okay, I've been in education and still in education, even on the state board. I think fear mongering and all that ridiculous stuff will never make you together as a team, okay? Because I see that bullying. That's the new thing called bully. I'm going to bully you. So I'll gather up my people and I'll start my election early. And I'll get these people and I'll get them all screaming. That's the stuff I don't like. Screaming and yelling. If you don't go, blah, blah, blah. Everybody know the budget's not going to be 12. So let's cut the crap. But one thing I respect when I go to the Board of Ed meeting, you can speak 6 minutes and you can have a rebuttal. So you're respected when you go there, whether you like the decision or not. You're respected, okay? Number two, I don't think you're trying to work with the Board of Ed. I don't think you are. Because no way in the world would anybody, I'll take my mayor from Woodbridge, who does a great job. Pilot programs, everything. Swaps land, does all that stuff. Really, really great job, okay? Because you don't scream and you don't attack people. Now, if you think that's how you sit down at a table, is this what we're teaching our youth? Well, I'm going to bully and badger you into sitting at a table. That's not nice. I don't like that at all. That really disappoints me, the way that's done. And I've seen all the fear mongering and all that stuff for people to come out to the budget. And I know about the subscription busing, that it never paid for itself, that the school was losing tons of money on it. Back and forth, they lost money on it. And what I do like is you do a whole presentation and you allow the town hall people, even though they come with an agenda, you still allow them to ask questions. You send them, you email them back, and you tell them this is all the things. But everybody thinks everybody wants a free lunch. I don't care, whatever. But you know what? I would have respected these people more if you gave the people their time back. And I would have respected you if you had your preliminary budget right next to my preliminary budget. You wouldn't like it if the Board of Ed all of a sudden took over the council and started screaming and yelling. Because it's in the background that you guys are doing 9.5%. Or either you're taking money from someplace else. Now, excuse me.
Point of order, that's not true, but you can make that statement.
No, I can say what I want to say. You know,
Trying to make sure that
like the Board of Ed, they don't interrupt me either. They let me talk, they let me rebuttal, okay? So the sad part about it is that most people, like I said before he interrupted me and threw my train of thought off, okay? We were talking about your budget and proposed budget. That's what it would be. Proposed budget at 9.5, and you take money from here over there. And there's one thing that is true. The Board of Ed wants some money. If I'm wrong, you can correct me, Councilman Brescia, and you want big sums of money like the council get, you have to do a referendum. And the people in the town have to vote for that referendum. And with the council, with this, you can spend money like, hey, we want a bond over here. We want another $200 million here. Hey, we want all this. Ain't nothing we can do about it because you guys get set up there and the majority rules. So no matter what, we have no real say on it. And so I would like it that if any bond is over 50,000, that it would have to come to a referendum. And that's how we can get the council to stop overspending. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the public? Mr. Bassoff, you have two more left here.
Joel Bassoff, Beach Lane.
Welcome.
Thank you. So a few weeks ago, there was a big apartment fire in Edison, and a firefighter was injured. And it kind of reminds us of the bravery of Edison's firefighters. And I just want to acknowledge that we can be grateful that they put their own safety at risk to protect our safety. So I think it's important to recognize that. Now, I have questions on affordable housing. So Edison could have used an alternative dispute resolution program that the Department of Community Affairs provided, but instead Edison went to court to litigate against the numbers that the state imposed. So my question is, how has Edison benefited from that litigation? Can we quantify how we're better off as a result of going through the litigation route rather than the alternative dispute resolution route? And specifically to the council president, I know you've been a vocal proponent of more affordable housing. So my question is, have you been okay with the fact that the township has been spending a lot of money on legal fees to try to fight against the affordable housing obligation? And do you have criticisms against Edison's lawsuit posture? I also want to ask a follow-up question about Taurus Advisory Group. I still didn't get an answer to the question as to why specifically Taurus Advisory Group as opposed to some other advisor. I have no idea whether Taurus is the most competent advisor out there or not. My concern is that how does the council know that you approved the most competent advisor for that if there hasn't been a review of other advisors in what I understand is a competitive field? How do we know that that the decision's based on competence and not patronage? And a follow-up question on the budget. The business administrator said that the township is working with the state to complete the budget. But my question is, other townships are able to get their budgets in on time. And has the Department of Community Affairs actually given Edison an extension on its budget, or are we just flouting the law? And it's particularly an issue. I wouldn't keep raising the issue, except we have a mayor that publicly castigated the Board of Education for being, I think his terms were reckless and irresponsible. And it just seems like the administration is reckless and irresponsible to blow past these state mandated deadlines and potentially putting individual council members at risk for being fined personally for not introducing a budget on time. So those are my questions.
Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay. Well, where do I want to start here? First, you did ask a question what my position was for the housing settlement that we discussed and that we proposed. Joel, I think it's fair to say I am a strong advocate for affordable housing. I may not fully agree to this, what we've done. I am having other discussions with council members on studio housing, micro housing. If you can ever lasso up a group of people to support that together, that would be wonderful. I mean, from what I've seen in this, council meeting, it's tough to put 10 condos or 10 apartments on Amboy Avenue. So, I mean, I'm there. Find me the support. I'm certainly arguing for it. I think it's too high to live in Edison if you just got out of college. It's very expensive to live here. And it's a fact. College kids are leaving to other states where they can afford more, or they're going to remote work in other places that have certainly cheaper rentals. And they're going up in those areas for rent as well. So I'm 100% for it. Set me up a meeting with some supporters, and I'll be there tomorrow morning. That would help a lot. But I can tell you, I'm not happy with this. I hope we can build more. I would build the full 750. I would roll out full 750 units. But tell me where the support is for that. And right now, this is the best argument we can have on the space that we have available to get it done. I've dug into it as deep as I can today, and council members and I are still going through it to see what could be done over this time. This is just a preliminary stage of where we're at. More could be added at a different time. So there'll be opportunities to amend this, and I'm going to ask council for that support. Moving on to that, you talked about the Tourist Advisory Group. We chose that again. Could you repeat the answer we gave before?
Sure. It was recommended by our finance department to go with Taurus to do the energy assessment.
Okay. And then you mentioned the budget not being presented on time. As I mentioned before, I'm always surprised when you come up, when former administrations, you never come up to say it, but maybe it's new to something you're aware of. We are aware of it. I'm sorry we did not present it on time. It's going to be presented next month. I'm confident that it will be presented. To say it's reckless, I mean, it's a pretty strong word, reckless. I don't know what you would call Mayor Lenke's budget. If he presented in August and we're reckless in May, I'm just challenged because you are an attorney and you do make, discretionary decisions as an attorney. I think we're doing a pretty good job, but I'll yield that opinion to you. But what's most important is what we do with that budget when the council receives it and how we can make sure that it fits the taxpayers' needs and that the rate is a fair rate increase. That's most important, and I think that's what people worry about most. I don't think they worry about us getting it a month ahead or a month behind. But compared to what I'm used to in the 11 years being up here, I'm just in shock to get it and discuss it in April and to go through it and receive it by May. So this is a great opportunity for the town. I hope I covered everything, Mr. Bassoff, and I always appreciate you coming here, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you. Anybody else? Please.
Sue Malone Barber, 85 Pleasant Avenue.
Welcome.
Thanks. I have comments too about the budget. Why is it so hard to deliver a budget on time? I don't understand that. And then the public kind of feud between the Board of Ed and the administration is kind of embarrassing. I mean, at least the Board of Ed presented a preliminary budget. And then I saw the mayor online, like railing on them and proposing that he take them over. That's not the answer. That is not the answer. I think we need a budget on time. It's been years. I don't have a memory of Mayor Lenke, but did he present the budget himself? Because our mayor doesn't. Last year, he phoned in a video. That's not really acceptable either. So I think that we need to put on our big boy pants, make amends with the Board of Ed, who did have big budget cuts from the state. We have to acknowledge that. I don't know the details of their budget, but I do know that the mayor railing against them when he hasn't submitted a budget on time in the last few years is the pot calling the kettle black in a way. So I think, the Board of Ed and the mayor have a responsibility to the residents of the town and stop fighting and work together. That's my comment. And then I'd like to know, why is the budget late? Why can't we do a budget on time?
Thank you for your questions. You still have time. Do you have any more questions?
No, I could go on and
I'm
on,
gonna
but there's no point.
I'll refer to our BA to answer the question of why the budget is not on time and why it's late. Do you have an answer to that? I could go through it, but do you have a short answer?
It's a nearly a $200 million budget, as you know. We have to do all of the turnover from prior year into this year. We want to make sure that when we do present a budget, and we have our meetings with all of the council, as we've started to, as you all know, we've done now 5 council meetings, to really give you the best information based on solid numbers rather than preliminary or projected numbers. We want to make sure that we give you the most accurate, transparent numbers and scenarios as well, because at the end of the day, not only administration would need to defend this budget, you all need to defend this budget. And we certainly want to make sure that it is a responsible budget. And so it does take a little bit of time, and we are hoping to get that introduced at the May 6th meeting.
And I certainly was a problem holding it up, because when it comes to appeals, our process of appeals does a great job, but each year the council makes sure we put enough in reserve for the anticipated appeals for this year. So we go through all the process for the last 2 years with our assessor and the attorney and what we anticipate to be for this year. So that is a big holdup that the council here
Start
puts on
earlier.
that. So
Start earlier. I worked for a company that was $250 million in sales, and they put in a budget on time every year. They have to. I don't get it. I understand it's complicated. I'm not discounting that, but you could start earlier.
Well, I think I'd be happier to have a late budget that's a lot less than the school budget if.
It's not a contest.
I mean,
See, that's the point. It's
okay,
not a contest.
You tell a taxpayer it's not a contest, all right?
It's not.
Why don't you
work together.
Work that campaign, 12% versus what we present. Try that one. Please, Sue. I mean, let's be fair here. We get along with the Board of Ed. I talked to Jerry Shee just the other day. Shannon Pang, they know they can call me anytime. I never interrupt their business, and none of us could if we tried, all right? But we're not going to agree when we get 100 emails that a 12% is good. So if you're waving a flag that they're doing a great job, that's up to you.
I'm not waving the flag.
But it sounds like you're
saying
supporting
that
them.
You have to work together, and the mayor railing on them is embarrassing.
Provide me a list of what I can do to work together, and I'll be happy to help you, Sue. Not a problem. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? Okay. The public portion, may I have a motion to close the public portion? Have a motion? Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. We're going to move right on. Department heads, any reason for them to be here? Sonia, I'm sorry, I'm not asking. It's your call. I don't know, he held on the longest. I don't know why. Okay, all right.
He had a
You're welcome to
resident
stay.
that
We can make you a councilman next year. Okay, moving on. I just, reports from all committees. From my right, Councilmember Brescher.
No, none at this time.
Okay, Councilmember Dima.
None at this time.
Okay, Council Vice President Cantos.
None at this time, but they are on my website. If you just go to my website, robertkentos.com/committees, you'll see all the reports there. There's going to be a large update this weekend from the past couple weeks as well. So just go there.
Okay. Councilmember Patel.
None.
Councilmember Asaf Shmuel.
Yeah, Edison Municipal Alliance met this past Wednesday, and I'll give an update the next meeting.
Oh, great. Thanks for serving on that. Okay, moving on. Just wanted to have, for points of light, today is Administrators Professionals Day, so those who are involved in the administration of this township or anywhere at home or away, we do appreciate what you do as administrator. We all know you make it happen, so anybody who's above you cannot work without you. I know in this town, we really appreciate everybody who's taken a role there. And what I do know, and we didn't ask the administration yet, but it should be okay, is that I spoke to Councilmember Kentos, and on Friday, when I cleared with the clerk, we're going to provide some pizza down at the clerk's office for admin day. Now, we didn't talk about who's splitting it exactly, since Councilmember Kentos does do better than me, so I think it's going to be 70-30. But, so we're looking forward to that, and we'll arrange that if we could. If the clerk says it's okay, we may have something in the way, but we're going to try. If not, we'll do it Monday. Moving forward, Earth Day, Earth Day we just had, and the fishing derby was great. Everybody was happy. And last, we have the Dine Out and Support the Friends of the Edison Public Library. Right now, it's going on at Fratelli's Pizza. I'm going to hope to get there. Let's see if Councilman Brescher has any more comments. I can get there on time, but it's 9 o'clock and Rich is buying. We appreciate that. Okay. And then we're going to move on to the discussion items. And I'm going to start from my left, okay, with Council Member Asaf. Any discussion items that you want to discuss?
None.
We have none. Okay, we're good. We're actually passing right along. I'm going to skip going through this. If someone wants to interrupt me, nothing has been written. I have the same from before, which I discussed with the town. So is there anybody that had something they wanted to add that was not written as a courtesy?
Just one question.
Okay, motion to adjourn? I'm sorry, Councilman. There's only 28 minutes on the water and sewer, but you continue.
I have a question.
I'm sorry, yeah.
No.
I yield to the Council Vice President, please.
No.
Age, I'm sorry. He didn't say it. I didn't say it. Okay.
Well, Sonia, we were talking about the road patches. I think Comcast is the one that dug up these little trenches all over the town. And I know that some of them are being fixed, right? Except that I noticed they're not fixed to our specifications.
We had a meeting with Comcast 2 weeks ago, myself, the engineer. Right now, what they've done thus far should be up to standards. If there is an area in which you have questions about, we can revisit. We did advise them, though, because it was a harsh winter, that they go back to those areas so that they are up to standard, given the fact that, you know, there's probably some work that would need to be revisited.
Right, so what they did was they spray painted them white, right, and identified the ones, or somebody did, and then they repaved them, right, and actually the pavement on this is better, I mean, I will say that, but they're not sealed. So because they're not sealed, the water gets in around it, and we changed our ordinance on that so that we know that it's done properly, right? By them putting either the tape over it or by them, you know, putting the binder around it. You can't miss that it was done right now. And it isn't done just on Mount Pleasant. And that's just where I notice it because, well, it's on my way to Dunkin' Donuts. So if it's not done there, I just assume that they did the same work because they're contracted with other people. So if we can just, you know, get on top of them to make sure that they go back and seal them up.
Yep. Thank you, Councilman Brescher.
That's it.
Okay. Council Vice President.
Yeah, if I get fined $100 for not presenting the budget, will you pay for that?
Well, listen, the council president does have a budget, and I discussed it with the clerk, and then I don't know whether it'd be allowed by law, and we'll go through that, take a couple weeks to figure out that answer, but we'll get it to you.
Thank you.
If you can't afford it, I will help subsidize it up to 100, not to exceed. Okay.
Thank you.
Council President, I second Mr. Kendos'
And I'm not joking about it. We, of course, may make...
I second his question, and then this is the longest council meeting of 2026.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, listen, there was a big item on the agenda, and I knew it would be... Okay, we're going to motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Have a motion? Have a second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. This meeting is ended 8:06. Thank you.